If you're looking to scale a YouTube channel and generate high-paying leads from it, then you should definitely watch this video. You might be thinking that YouTube is such a saturated market and there is no space for you to start making videos. There are already thousands of big channels out there on YouTube, and what's the point of making your own channel if it's so insignificant? Well, you are wrong. Obviously, that's why I'm making this video. It's now more important than ever to start your own YouTube channel and see the growth that you've always wanted to have. Be it with growing your own personal brand, your business, or even to generate thousands of qualified leads. Building your own YouTube channel solidifies your authority as the go-to expert when it comes to anything related to your niche. But it's still important in understanding the proper skills, techniques, and steps that are required to growing a great YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm going to be auditing a pretty big podcast training YouTube channel to show you all the necessary steps that you should be doing to grow your YouTube channel and the things that you should be avoiding if you want to see amazing growth in the first place. Even though this is a podcast training YouTube channel, you can still take everything that I mentioned in this video and apply it to your own niche. So to start off, here is the YouTube channel Pod Sound School. So Pod Sound School is a YouTube channel that teaches a lot of young podcasters or up and coming podcasters on how to grow a successful podcast. Now, if you were to take a quick look at their YouTube channels, you can see a bunch of videos that are just like tutorials on what's the best topic to talk about in a podcast, how to properly start a podcast in 2024, and etc. So just taking a quick look at the views on the channel, you can see that they've been averaging around to 1,000 to 2,000 views, but sometimes they do dip below 1,000, and I'm going to be talking about why they are dipping below 1,000 later on in this video. So one of the first points I do want to talk about in this audit is the thumbnail design and the titling. When it comes to doing both the title and the thumbnail, it's important to know that both elements do support each other. It's very important to have a descriptive title supporting the thumbnail while also having a visually appealing thumbnail support the title. If one element or the other is below each other or not really supporting, then your video is going to see not a lot of clicks and not a lot of views in the first place. So what I'm trying to say is that the thumbnail and title works hand in hand together, and it's important to actually optimize for this and design your video around this idea in mind. So just taking a quick look back at the Pod Sound School YouTube channel, you can see that their titling is actually pretty good. It talks very directly on what the video is going to be about, and I can, as the viewer, I can easily understand what I'm actually clicking onto and how it's actually solving my own pain problem. And what I mean by that is that for videos such as starting a podcast in 2024, podcasting for beginners, how to actually grow a podcast on like my phone or like Spotify, I can easily see that, hey, these videos are talking about these topics, and it really relates to the problems that I'm trying to search for on YouTube and have it resolved. And that's what these guys have been doing with their YouTube videos. They've been posting a lot of content with this idea in mind of just having their title speak specifically to the problems that their viewers are just searching about. So that's one of the biggest things you have to know about when growing your YouTube channel, is that you need to have a very descriptive title that speaks about the video. What you should never be doing with the title of a video is doing stuff like, oh, this is the top 10 things that you definitely need to know about, or like, oh, you won't believe what I just saw. Like, these types of titles just don't make sense, and realistically no one's gonna go on YouTube and search about it because it doesn't really directly interact with them. It doesn't speak to the viewer directly, and it doesn't answer any problems that anyone is dealing with at the moment. So all in all, I'm going to say that the Pod Sound School's titling for their YouTube videos is actually excellent, and this is an example that you should definitely be following. Some minor changes that I would definitely make, but the core principle is there, and you should definitely be using this as an example. However, their thumbnails are a bit of a different story, and there are areas where I would love to improve or see them improve upon. Like, no offense to the creators if they are watching this video, but it looks like to me that you just took a screenshot from your actual video and uploaded it to YouTube, and it's just like a small preview of what the video is just going to look like, and it doesn't really capture my eyes or any of your audience's attention. Even though the thumbnails do sort of relate to what the title is about, they could be changed up a little bit to actually speak a little bit more to what the audience wants to hear. So for example, if we were to go back onto the YouTube channel and take a look at this video right here, which is about starting a podcast in 2024, and you can see like there's a water bucket that's pouring onto like the words my podcast, and there is a bunch of stuff that is talking about like, oh, the stuff that you have to know when it comes to starting a podcast in 2024. The idea itself for the thumbnail is actually very creative, and it's something I've never seen before, But the one problem about this is that the background's a little too distracting and it's really hard for anyone to see what the thumbnail is about. And funny enough, if you were to take a closer look at the thumbnail, you can't really see the word podcast in it because the timestamp is actually blocking the word my podcast. If you were to actually scroll on like the YouTube channel here instead of zooming in, you can see it's a little bit harder to see compared to all of the other videos here. It's just not really eye capturing and it's very easy to miss when it comes to searching for this video on YouTube. Now, to show you another example of how they can actually improve their thumbnails, I'm going to be scrolling down to this video here, which is talking about starting a podcast channel on YouTube in 2024. The video itself is actually really good and has garnered at least 2,000 views, which is a pretty good statistic. But the one thing I would definitely change is the fact that you guys are writing the word YouTube podcast hacks in the thumbnail. The reason I say that this has to be changed is because I already know that this video is going to be about how to start a podcast on YouTube. I can already read the title and see that it's just going to be about that. I don't need the thumbnail to tell me twice. I don't need the information to be told to me a second time because I've already read the title and have a good understanding. So instead, what the Pod Sound School YouTube channel should actually be doing with this video is maybe doing something like a before and after image of what it would look like before knowing like the information in the video and compared to like after, and seeing like a huge growth, like a graph in the background to see like, hey, like if you were to watch this video, then you'll see this growth happening when it comes to growing your podcast. Now, still on the topic about thumbnails, I gotta touch on the fact that this video right here that I'm showing and this one on the left right here is just a little bit too similar. Now, if I was actually a viewer that clicked onto their channel and just wanted to see a lot of the other content that they posted, the first thought that goes into my head is that these videos might just be a glitch or just a re-upload, and it just seems a little bit lazy on the creator's part, so they wouldn't be very inclined to actually click on the videos and watch it. And that's why this video right here has 3,000 views compared to this one where it has 1,600, and there is a massive discrepancy in the views since the thumbnails just look a little bit too similar, and to a returning subscriber it just may look like, as I mentioned, it's a re-upload of the previous video. Now, I'm going to show you a really good example of what a great thumbnail would actually look like, and the Pod Sound School actually uploaded this video a few years back. So if I were to go to the popular section on their YouTube channel here and take a look at their second video here, which is about how to put your podcast on Spotify for free, this thumbnail design is actually really good. I would actually do this myself for my own YouTube channel if I was about growing a podcast on Spotify. So what I'm going to be talking about here is the fact that they've included a huge logo of Spotify, and the reason this is so effective is because as the viewer, I don't really have to read the text or even the title of the thumbnail, because I understand that, hey, this video is specifically about how to grow a podcast on Spotify, and if I were to click on it, I already know that this video is meant for me. Now, this is what I mean that the thumbnail and title has to work together. The fact that the title specifically speaks to the problem about how to put your podcast on Spotify for free, and you can easily see in the thumbnail that this video is about Spotify, and it's because it has the Spotify logo. Now, this is all I wanted to say for the thumbnail and title, but hopefully you guys understand what I mean by having the thumbnails and titles work cohesively together. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the SEO ranking for their videos. Pod Sound School is an amazing example of how you can properly do SEO ranking and have your videos searched up on YouTube easily. What I mean by this is that your videos are always made specifically to be searched for. So for example, if I were to go on YouTube here and search up stuff like podcast topics on YouTube, you can actually see that Pod Sound School is actually the #1 search result when it comes to this type of topic. And if you were to actually scroll down, Pod Sound School actually ranks as top viewed video again within this category, and this is essentially what I mean by having an amazing SEO ranking score and a really great SEO strategy. In fact, if you were to search up anything podcast related, be it like podcast topics, podcast growth, how to grow your podcast, Pod Sound School is the #1 search result, and that's what you should be considering when it comes to growing your own YouTube channel. You want to be ranking as high as possible for all your related keywords, so you ensure that you get the most and the maximum amount of views into your video. So how do you rank for these search terms, and what is the best way to go about it? Well, the best way to do this is to include a lot of keywords that relate to your channel and to your videos. So for Pod Sound School, this would include keywords like podcast growth, how to grow your podcast, podcasting podcasting strategies, tips to do podcasts, and etc. Now, to give you an idea why keyword ranking is so important, I'm going to be taking a look at this video right here. Now, the reason why this video is actually getting so little views compared to their other videos where it's hitting at least minimum 1,000 views or even 4,000 views is because that this video, it doesn't really speak to what their channel is about. If your channel is specifically talking about podcast tips or podcast growth, then uploading a video just about psychological marketing wouldn't make any sense. And that's why if you were to actually scroll over to the right here and see this video, which is talking about how to optimize your YouTube videos, you can see that it's also not hitting a bunch of views because it just doesn't make sense for a podcast channel to be uploading videos about how to boost your views as a YouTuber. So that's why when it comes to their older videos from like 10 months ago, even a year ago, it seems a little bit random with the views. But as they upload more content that is specifically talking about podcasting, you can see that the views are actually becoming a lot more consistent and hitting the 3K figures, the 4K figures, sometimes even the 10K figures, just because they've been basically spamming the keywords podcasting over and over again. Now, just to show you what I really mean about ranking really high in the SEO terms and using a lot of keywords, I'm going to jump a little bit off of the ship onto a different YouTube channel to show you what I actually mean. So this is Nick. So he's been uploading a bunch of YouTube videos talking about like Facebook ads and actually how to run it for an e-commerce brand. So if you take a look at all of his YouTube videos here, you can see that he's been using the words Facebook ads over and over again. And he's able to always rank for this keyword over and over again. So for anyone that is searching about Facebook ads or anything e-commerce related for Facebook ads, Nick is always the #1 search result since a lot of his videos are just about that. And this helps him get a bunch of his videos ranked really high in the search terms and millions of viewers coming onto his channel and just watching his content. Other than using multiple keywords within your videos and on your YouTube channel, it's important to also include it within your own tags. Tags help your YouTube videos get recognized by YouTube themselves and understand how to actually properly categorize it into the proper search result. Essentially, when it comes to doing YouTube SEO, your main goal is to get your videos onto like the first search result or even the second suggested video by YouTube, and that's done by including a lot of keywords and a lot of tags that just support and push up that video up to the search results. So now I'm going to be talking about the hooks that the Pod Sound School has been using for their own YouTube videos recently. As many creators have said it before, the hook is the most important part when it comes to doing a YouTube video or any types of content on any social media platform. It's the thing that gets a lot of their audiences hooked on, literally, and sticking around till the end to actually watch the video or read till the end of an article. If you were to watch any of Pod Sound School's videos, they really do speak to the problem that their viewers are actually experiencing. You'll notice that they're very direct at speaking at what the viewer is actually dealing with and the problem at hand. They immediately mention what the viewer really wants to see, and that's what captures their attention. However, this is not to say that all of their videos are like this. They do upload some videos where they are just like dancing in the beginning or just not really saying stuff in the beginning just to draw like suspense, I think. I'm not sure. So you can actually expect that these videos to have a quick drop in the audience retention, like this video right here, where they might be expecting like a 10% retention rate since no one is really sticking at the beginning of the video. Even though the video has like 8K views, the retention rate for this video might be lower than their other videos, and that's primarily because their hook was just never good in the beginning. Even though they did say the hook like 5 seconds after, it's a little bit too long after the beginning of the video. You have to be like really instant with it within the first 0.01 seconds to just capture your viewers' attention. And I can tell you from my own experience, their retention rate graph probably looks like a mountain cliff where it's just like a steep slope, like the stuff in like what the Hobbits or Lord of the Rings, where they're just trying to climb the mountain to throw the goddamn ring into the volcano. It just looks like that. It's just a really big slope. Now, what's the point of Pod Sound School making all of these YouTube videos? Well, it's to promote their own business. Pod Sound School actually runs a coaching program where they help a lot of young podcasters and up-and-coming podcasters to improve or start their own podcasts. Pod Sound School is able to generate probably at least $10,000 to $50,000 per month just by uploading videos on YouTube. And let me be very clear, this isn't money that is generated from ad revenue. It's most likely money that is coming from leads that are signing up for the one-on-one coaching program that they promote on their own website. And that's what a lot of coaches coaches and businesses are doing nowadays. They see that YouTube is a great place to generate a lot of qualified leads that just wants to work with them instead of focusing solely on like ad revenue. Now, if you want to generate leads or grow a great YouTube channel like the Pod Sound School, then you should definitely check out my consultation program. You and I will go over your YouTube channel and check out what the things that you need to be doing to grow it, how I can actually help you plan that, and the steps that are necessary for your own successful growth. Now, all you gotta do is click the link in my description and book a time that fits you well. But other than that, that's it for today's video. It is again a lot different from what I've been uploading so far, but as I preached before and many times, I'm just trying to test out what kind of videos are actually working on my channel and what my viewers are really interested in to see what works and what doesn't work. So if you really do like this video, share it, like it, comment on it, and this will help me understand if there is a market out there for it. And you can definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel to know when I upload again. Other than that, how about you take everything that I just showed you in this video about the Pod Sound School and go kill it on YouTube?